All right, guys. So this video is actually going to be a fun one for me to do. And that is because Skullcandy collaborated with Bose on their new pair of earbuds. And the pair that we're talking about is the Skullcandy Method 360 ANC. You can see right here, I have the Quiet Comfort 2s from Bose, and I'm sitting them right next to the Skullcandys. And from a design standpoint on the earbuds, you can see that there is not a lot of difference here. But stepping it back a little bit, if you want to go in comparison to price, Bose, who's normally a little overpriced in the first place, the Quiet Comfort 2s, I believe, retailed somewhere between $250 to $300. Well, the Skullcandy Method 360 ANC, which is the pair that we're talking about today, they come in retailing at only $100, or at least right now they are only $100. I think it shows that they're going to go back up to around $129. And we're going to talk about a number of things. We're going to actually go ahead and start with why did Skullcandy even do this, or why did Bose do this? And there's a couple of things here. First off, ever since Skullcandy started releasing true wireless earbuds, I've been pretty critical in the fact that I don't think they're some of the best out there. But with this pair, they decided to work with Bose and allow Bose to tune these to get these to sound like a Bose product. And the interesting thing here is it's a weird collaboration. Skullcandy and Bose are like two completely different companies, but in a way, are they really, or were there signs already that this was going to happen? Because some of Bose's latest products, when we've looked at their app, a lot of people pointed out, and it was actually pretty noticeable, that Bose's app kind of looks like Skullcandy's app now. The Skullcandy IQ app, which is the one that you would use for the Method 360 ANC, is very similar to what Bose has been doing. Now, I'm going to say you do need to download the Skullcandy IQ app. It allows you to EQ these if you want to. It'll obviously allow you to keep these updated. You can switch around some controls, but luckily these do use touch controls that allow you to control everything out of the box. And with this pair having Bluetooth 5.3, you can also go within the app and turn on the multi-point connection, which it's actually on by default. And there's also a gaming or low latency mode if you want to switch it into that so that you don't have to worry about lag if you're going to be gaming with your earbuds or watching a movie or a TV show. Now, going back to the design, the case to the Skullcandys kind of resemble what they use with the Dime. It is a larger case. It does have a clip on it, so you can clip it onto a bag or anything like that. It's not as easily pocketable as a lot of other true wireless earbud cases, so kind of keep that in mind. But the earbud itself is almost identical to the Quiet Comfort 2s or the Ultras in every way, all the way down to the little fins, to the ear tips. The fact that this is a stem style design but looks identical to the Bose. Now, another thing, these do have active noise canceling, and that is something that Bose is known for. Now, I do not feel like Bose had their hands really on the noise canceling aspect because I don't think that, even in comparison to to my Bose Quiet Comfort 2s, the Bose is just better. It just cancels out a lot more noise. It does a much better job with higher tones, like people talking, and if there's a TV or anything like that, it's just going to come through a little bit more on the Skullcandys. But they are very impressive still with what they are doing with noise canceling. It's doing a really good job with lower tones like engine noises, AC units, a lot of the things that you're going to hear while traveling. So I was very impressed, especially because, again, these do come in at $100 right now. So the noise canceling punches well above its weight when you're looking at other earbuds that are in this price range. Now, when it comes to the awareness mode, I feel like these do a really good job of pumping in the sounds around you. It's very easy to carry on a conversation and not feel like you have to take the earbuds out, so that's a huge plus. Now, if you are going to use these outdoors, they do come in with an IPX4 rating, which means they're not, heavily waterproof, but they'll be fine against rain and sweat and splashes and things like that. Just make sure you do everything to keep these from falling into water. Now, as far as what all they've included in the box, it does come with 3 different sets of silicone ear tips. It also comes with 3 different sets of those fin ear tips, which is huge because this allows these to stay in your ears better and not move around as much. And then as far as the charging cable, it does come with a very small USB-C cable, which you will need to charge these because the case is not a Qi wireless charging case. But speaking of the charging, battery life is actually pretty decent on this pair. Now, if you use them with the noise canceling off, you can get 11 hours on the earbuds and about 40 hours using the case. But even with the noise canceling on, it only brings it down to 9 hours on the earbuds and about 32 hours using the case. Now, if you do use the gaming or low latency mode, it will drag the battery life down a little bit more, so keep that in mind. But if you do happen to pick them up and they are dead, it does have a fast charging feature where a quick 10-minute charge will get you 2 hours of use. So it's nice that it does have that feature. Now, if you are going to use these for taking phone calls, I do feel like the mics on here are pretty good. It's not the best that I've heard, but it is definitely far from the worst. It also does a pretty good job of blocking out your surroundings, but you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. So here is a mic test using the Skullcandy Method 360 ANC. I am outdoors, but I can hear a chainsaw going off at a distance. I can hear a little bit of wind, not a whole lot, but some slight traffic. But really, this is just to give you an idea of what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public. So now let's talk about the sound, because in my opinion, that is the huge selling point with this pair. This is why they're able to slap on the box that they work with Bose. This is definitely why I highly recommend these, especially at their $100 price point. This pair has excellent bass. In fact, it does a really good job with sub bass. This is one of the better sounding pairs that I've heard when it comes to the low end. I don't feel like it's holding anything back, but it's also doing everything that it can to keep these from affecting the mids and the treble. So the bass has plenty of punch, but there's plenty of space here, so it's not just like overbearing. It's not muddying up the sound. It's not making it sound congested. Mids on here are excellent. Now, this is where I feel like Bose has always done a really good job. So I feel like whether it's male or female vocalists, acoustic instruments, anything like that, I feel like has really good tone to it, but also doesn't sound like it's buried in the mix. It feels like it's bumped up just slightly enough. It doesn't feel like they're putting them right there in front of you so that everything sounds distant or hollow. And the same thing with the treble. The treble has a nice brightness to it. I would not say that it gets harsh. I don't think it has any of that sibilant sound when it comes to the S's, but it's really clean. I feel like this is a very detailed earbud, and to me that's very interesting because it's not something that you normally expect when you associate sound in general with Skullcandy. So the funny thing here is having that Skullcandy logo or just that branding on this product already makes it confusing because it doesn't have those characteristics. The only characteristics that it has towards a Skullcandy product is the colors that it's available in. I mean, outside of that, this is a Bose product basically with a Skullcandy shell on the outside. That's kind of how I feel about these. And so my overall opinion is if you can look past getting features like Qi wireless charging or smart sensors on the earbuds, this pair does not have any high-end Bluetooth codecs. In fact, it's just AAC and SBC. But the big plus and the reason that, again, that I feel like this is a pair you'd be interested in is the battery life is good, the noise canceling is good, and the sound is incredible for that $100 price tag. Even the retail price of $130, I could just straight out and say that I would recommend this to pretty much anybody. It doesn't feel like a normal Skullcandy product. It doesn't feel like it's tuned that way. It really does feel like they found a cheat code to give you the Bose sound that is in the Quiet Comfort Ultra earbuds and cram it into a $100 pair of Skullcandy earbuds. Again, it's a very strange collaboration, but I'm here for it. I'm excited about this product. It gives me something positive to say about a Skullcandy pair of earbuds, which I haven't been able to really do in quite a while. So yes, I highly recommend the Skullcandy Method 360 ANC. But thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.